Figueres, Catalunya, Spain, 1929, evening. The Surrealist Manifesto, rule number 1. Surrealism is pure psychic automatism to express the function of thought, in absence of controlled reason, exempt from aesthetic or moral concern. André Breton. Salvador Dali, a tall, skinny painter, 27 years old, sits in the front row of the audience. Gala, an attractive, exotic Russian woman, 37 years old, enters dancing flamenco. She twirls onto center stage, stomps her feet, and clicks castanets. She's possessed by the gypsy duende, of the spirit of the ritual fire dance. He's impressed with her performance, claps maniacally, approaches her, hands her a fan. It's a hot Mediterranean summer night.
Brava! Bravissimo! Who is this woman? I must meet her at once.
Monsieur Dali, you're too kind. We've already met at your premiere.
What has possessed you like this?
I'm trying to shed my husband's spirit who perturbs me. In the dance, of course. When I saw your film on Chien Andalou, I said to myself, I must get to know this man. Everybody's talking about it in Paris. It's so surreal. I've never seen anything like it.
But you leave me speechless, Madame Eluard. I didn't know you were a dancer.
I'm not. I prepared myself for the performance with my friend Elena Ivanovna from the Ballet Russe.
Oh, perhaps you can introduce me, Queen. I have some ideas for a new ballet, Bacchanal, Labyrinth, and Socrates.
You ballet?
It's about King Ludwig of Bavaria who has visions while losing his mind. There's nothing Dali cannot do.
She stoops down, removes her shoes, lifts her skirt, and flirts with him.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, monsieur.
You are such a beautiful woman.
Why, thank you. You make me blush. Tell me more about your ballet.
Well, in the second act, Theseus and the Minotaur are represented by roosters in a cockfight.
Lower your voice or my husband will hear you.
You are the most beautiful woman Dali has ever seen. C'est un vrai plaisir, madame.
He kisses her hand.
Hometown.
Salvador, you're so enchanting. It's as if we've known each other forever.
We have, madame. I have dreamt you, and now you are here before me. It is cosmogony. The stars in the heavens. I have created you in my dreams, and now you have materialized in the universe.
Well, that is what has happened, is it? You're a charmer, Monsieur Dali.
Salvador, please, if we are going to be intimately acquainted.
Let me not give you the wrong impression, because I have come to your hometown from Paris. I'm a married woman, Salvador. Heavens, what would my husband think?
Where is he? Point him out to me. I will challenge him to a duel.
You know him already. How perfectly scandalous that would be.
He will understand the power of the universe has brought you to me, and now he must renounce any old societal claims he has over you, or he will perish by my sword.
My lord, how passionate you are.
I have been waiting a long time for you to appear.
Well, here I am for your viewing pleasure, Monsieur Dali.
And what a pleasure it is for me, madame, finally, to meet you in the flesh, and such marvelous flesh.
Perhaps I should tell my name before you devour me, n'est-ce pas? Elena Ivanovna Diakonova, enchantée.
Oh, a Russian comrade. Oh, I can hardly contain myself.
You're peculiar, Monsieur Dali. Call me Elena.
No. I will not. I absolutely refuse. I will rechristen you, my muse.
Oh, and what would you call me, Monsieur?
I must think very carefully about you, madame, for you are a delicate flower about to blossom.
Oh, how erotic. You're too kind, monsieur. I'm afraid I have blossomed a few springs ago.
No matter, you are reborn tonight and will blossom again by my side every night.
Why, Salvador, I will think you're infatuated with me.
I am, and I must get to know you intimately, immediately.
We've only just met.
I must know everything about you.
Perhaps you've had a little too much champagne.
Dali can never have too much champagne. It runs through my veins. I have never felt it.
Such gallantry, I don't know what to say.
Say nothing. Be beautiful, and Dali will capture you.
Capture me, should I try to escape?
Escape is not an option. I must paint you tonight in the nude, and you will be mine forever.
Now I'm speechless.
There is only one answer to your destiny, madame. Allow yourself to be captured. I'll worship you forever, without any lenience between a man or a woman.
Like an object.
Cet obscur objet du désir.
Who can refuse being worshipped by the great Salvador Dali? This is so exciting and unexpected.
Does that mean yes?
Yes, yes.
I shall call you Gala. Galushka, Gradiva, Oliva, for the oval shape of your face and the color of your skin. Yes, Gala.
Gala, like the opening night at the opera.
You will open for me every night. Let me see your shoulders.
He removes her shawl from her shoulders, drops the straps on her dress, and reveals her bare back.
To think I desperately needed a woman just when you came along.
Is it what you usually do when you desperately need a woman? Ask her to take her clothes off.
Yes. I usually ask my sister to pose for me, but she's tired of me asking.
And does your sister pose nude for you?
Dali can imagine her nudity, for he has superior intellectual powers.
I see. So why are you taking my clothes off then? Can you not imagine me naked?
Dali likes to observe beauty.
You like to watch.
Dali observes beauty and immortalizes the figure in his paintings.
You want to watch me to immortalize me?
One does not question genius.
And it excites you when you watch? Are you excited thinking about me being nude now? You're quite attracted to me, I see.
Dali is attracted by all beauty.
Have you ever seen a woman make love? Watch her expressions in ecstasy. Am I your first woman, Dali?
Dali has known several women.
Intimately?
I will tell you a secret, one you must not tell no one. Dali is a virgin. Dali must not waste his magical seed only to produce art.
He adjusts his groin and she notices.
And do you spill your seed when you paint? Like now, would you like to... I mean, can I help Dali with his inspiration?
Dali needs no help. I'm self-sufficient. You are most gracious, madame.
Gala, call me Gala.
She caresses him and he climaxes instantly.
Ah! Oh, Gala! Gala!
My turn next time.
Fade out. Scene 2, later that night. The Surrealist Manifesto, rule number 2. Within the limits to which its performance is restricted, or what passes for performance, the dream, according to all outward appearances, is continuous and bears traces of organization. Only memory claims the right to edit it, to suppress transitions, and present us with a series of dreams rather than the dream itself. André Breton. They're in bed, covered by a sheet. There's a loud, repeated knocking at the door.
C'est moi! Cecile! Mère! Ouvrez la porte, Mom! S'il te plaît! Papa is looking for you. Are you in there? Mom! He's waiting at the station. We must go now or we'll miss the train back to Paris. Mom! I want to go home. Mom!
I detest motherhood. My daughter Cecile, I'm so sorry.
Do you need to go with her now? Blood is thicker than honey.
She's already 11. She's a young woman now.
It sounds like she still needs her mother.
She'll be all right with her father from now on. Let's get back to the honey part.
Dali has known you forever, yet I don't know you at all.
You know everything about me now, perhaps not my history, but you know my soul. Why do you refer to yourself in the third person?
Dali does not know that persona. I have nothing to do with that character. I live behind a mask. Besides, I have never been with a woman before. There are so many questions I have.
There are so many answers I could give you.
Dali is no longer a virgin now. Did I disappoint?
Nonsense.
I have to warn you, I may not be able to paint anymore.
Why not inspire you to paint?
You have always inspired Dali before I met you.
Now that you've had your way with me, maybe I no longer interest you.
A normal man, perhaps, but Dali is not normal.
You seemed pretty normal a few minutes ago.
I am an extraterrestrial with tentacles for hands, like a squid and a rhinoceros horn for a lance to grab you and poke you in your privates.
Perhaps I spoke too soon. You're mad.
The only difference between a madman and a Dali is that I am mad for you.
Then you must paint me, or have you brought me here under false pretenses?
No. I love you. You will be my inspiration.
Sorry, I lost it. It's so hot here in the summer nights of Barcelona. Do you think your family will like me, a married woman with her favorite son?
I like you, but I have never been my father's favorite. My older brother was his favorite.
An older brother, what is his name?
Salvador.
I know your name, I meant your brother's.
My brother's name was Salvador. He died, so they gave me his name when I was born, and he had no further use for it, and Dali has been a terrible disappointment to his parents ever since.
I've never heard of such a thing. How awful for you.
We resembled each other like two drops of water. Dali's parents never accepted me.
Do you think your family will accept me then?
A Russian married Trotskyist comrade with a daughter. Dali's father has been looking for a reason to disown me. He will surely disinherit me at once.
If it's what you think of me, then our relationship must end now.
It is too late now. We've bonded. You're the perfect woman. I'll never abandon you. I promise.
You will forget your promise as soon as I lose my youth and beauty.
You will never lose your youth and your beauty. Leave that to me, my love.
Love the sorcerer, as Fire would say.
Voila. Imperial monument to the child woman Gala. I have dreamt it last night.
How could you dream if we didn't sleep all night?
Being with you is living a dream.
You're only interested in me as a woman. This relationship may not prosper.
I confess Dali is not very experienced dealing with women.
Are you saying you're interested in me as a woman?
Of course. Must I prove it to you again?
You do not understand me, do you?
You confuse Dali a little, to be truthful.
I've done that to so many men.
Have you been with many men?
Does it bother you that I'm a married woman with a child?
Should Dali be worried about your husband missing his train and coming back here now? Is he a jealous man? Is he a violent type?
Paul Eluard is no more a jealous man than I'm a jealous woman. He would applaud you for taking care of me and watch.
Dali does not know what to say. Now I blush.
Say nothing then. Men take longer to process things in matters of love. Have you ever been in love before?
Dali has always loved his mother and Filipa and his sister Anna Maria.
Oh, and your father?
Dali's father has never been easy to love.
Have you ever had a menage a trois with another man?
Federico and I had a menage a trois with another woman at the artist's residence, Margarita. She rescued me from being sodomized by a poet.
My husband and I had an affair with Max Ernst. Does that bother you?
Anyone can slip into the dark side for an evening of indiscretion.
It lasted 3 years, but it's over now.
Today, you fully explored your dark side.
I find enormous pleasure in both the dark and the light side.
You leave Dali speechless.
Be forewarned, if you're interested in me, I'll need my freedom.
Artists must always have freedom.
You're my new artist, Dali.
And you are my muse. You inspire me to be a better man.
You'll be a better man by my side, but it won't be easy for you, I'm afraid. I'm a complicated woman. I could also find you another, Monsieur Dali, if you prefer someone more provincial.
Dali does not have problems finding women, Madame Eluard, but I am only interested in you, Gala.
You're interested in me because I raise your self-esteem or some more intimate things?
Is my baguette showing, Madame?
Baguette or pen mignon?
Does size really matter if Dali loves you with all of his soul?
Size can also be important in matters of love. I'm just a girl who wants to have fun. Can't I have both?
Dali will cater to your every desire.
I desire you, Dali, le plus grand génie de l'Europe.
You must help me achieve greatness, my muse.
You realize you're making a pact with the devil. Not many men can be by my side for too long. They must be very special.
Is Dali special enough to be by your side?
I'm a difficult woman.
C'est merveilleux.
There will be a price to pay for your fame.
Name it, and Dali will pay the price.
Will you turn over your soul to me, Monsieur Dali?
Dali's soul, madame.
Your soul. You must surrender it to me now. We must seal it in blood.
She cuts her thumb and his with the pair of scissors. They join fingers.
Dali's soul is yours forever.
Tell Paul I will not be coming back to Paris with him.
Shouldn't you tell him yourself? Do I look like your errand boy?
Be an angel and deliver the message for me.
Yes, my dear, whatever you command.
Fade out. Scene 3. The Surrealist Manifesto, rule number 3. I return to the waking state. I am obliged to retain it as a phenomenon of interference. Not only does the mind show a strange tendency to disorientation under these conditions, this is the clue to slips of the tongue and lapses of all kinds, whose secret is just beginning to be surrendered to us. André Breton. She gets ready to go out as he mopes about.
And what is the great Dali going to paint today?
Today, I think I will go to the cafe to dance the Charleston.
But you have the whole day. You must paint a new masterpiece.
There will be time for masterpieces. My painting collection made quite an impression in Paris, n'est-ce pas?
Not on the pocketbook yet. That woman's gallery has kept half the profits.
That is their business, not petty. There are pirates looking for a new vessel to rob.
And they have boarded your vessel.
Let's not talk about money. We are fine now, and that we don't need to ask your husband for money. Let's talk about boarding your vessel.
Don't even think about it. We will always need money. Money runs out when around.
Yes, my dear, turn around. You know how that excites me.
You must paint new masterpieces and give them to me to sell.
Everything I paint is for you.
Not for me. I'll represent you.
You will be the pirate.
I will not let them rob you.
A woman pirate. How sexy.
I'm serious. Now go and paint. I have bought new linens and frames and charcoals and oils, even new brushes from Paris.
Yes. Tools of the trade. Sadly, they will have to wait until my next inspiration. Would you like to inspire me, my dear? Show me your ass.
Pervert. Tell me what you dreamt last night.
Nothing at all. I wonder if I'm sick. Je suis malade, mon Dieu.
You aren't sick. Don't start that again. You're merely too comfortable in your bourgeois lifestyle.
Is that even possible?
And I'm going to make it uncomfortable for you so you can paint.
Are you going to mistreat me again? I love that.
I'm going to ignore you.
That is the worst thing you can do to me. I could not stand it.
I'm going to abandon you and go out carousing at night.
Where are we going?
You're going nowhere. I'm going out alone and you are staying here to paint.
Will you be seeking companions in the moonlight?
It's none of your business what I do when I go out.
Please, you must give me a complete report when you return.
I may not return.
But you must. I will smell you when you return.
Why must I?
to see the masterpieces that I will create for you?
It will do you good to be alone, see?
I don't want to be alone. I'm afraid to be alone. Don't leave me here by myself. I can be very cruel.
You must face your demons.
You are my demon, and I worship you like Lucifer.
Then I will turn into a snake and bite you when I return, and spit my venom into your skin and draw your blood.
Oh, this excites me.
And I will go to a church and bring back holy water to burn your skin until it's raw and it will hiss.
Yes, my evil mistress. You must take control of me.
Now let me go into the foggy night and do my dirty deeds.
Yes, yes, my sorceress. Do with me as you will.
She exits and he throws his new painting materials around the room. Blackout. Scene 4. The Surrealist Manifesto. Rule number 4. The mind of the dreaming man is fully satisfied with whatever happens to it. The agonizing question of possibility does not arise. Kill, plunder more quickly, love as much as you wish. And if you die, are you not sure of being aroused from the dead? Let yourself be led. Events will not tolerate deferment. You have no name. Everything is inestimably easy. André Breton. She enters, slams the door, and awakens him.
Oh, I did not hear you come back last night, my petite.
You were passed out on the sofa when I returned. I did not want to wake you.
Was it a fruitful evening, my dear?
Abundantly pleasant, and yours?
I met with an old friend.
You have no friends but me.
I do, apparently.
Why should last night have been different than any other night? How much absinthe did you drink after I left?
I did not drink any.
You did not drink last night.
There is no absinthe left. I only red wine.
You got drunk on Spanish Rioja.
Oh, the headache. But that was all we had in the house. We will need to buy some more cases for our guests.
We never have any guests.
That has changed. We will have many guests again.
Oh, will we? With what money?
The money Eluard sent you from the antiques, that money.
How would you know about that?
Because Dali sees the future, as I am from the future.
In the future, there will be no more money, so take a good look at that. Now show me your new paintings. Where are they?
Which new paintings?
Any new paintings. Anything I can sell for money.
Yeah.
That looks like Buñuel. I can't sell that. He's got a square head.
Oh, you could sell your own soul for money.
I've already done that, and the money has run out. Perhaps I can sell yours, but who would buy it?
You would sell my soul for money.
Who would buy the soul of a soulless monster?
Is that what you think of me, Gala?
You disgust me, you maggot.
Blackout. Scene 5, Paris, France. The Surrealist Manifesto. Rule number 5. When the time comes when we can submit the dream to a methodical examination, when by methods yet to be determined we succeed in realizing the dream in its entirety, when the dream's curve is developed with an unequaled breadth and regularity, then we can hope that mysteries which are not really mysteries will give way to the great mystery, André Breton. They enter the apartment.
I hate André Breton. He thinks he can take over the Surrealist movement. What has he done but write a few essays? You're the real Surrealist.
Relax, mon petit. He's just jealous I have you by my side.
If I was only by your side, he wouldn't mind. It's the fact that I have an opinion he resents.
He wishes he had such a woman to support him.
In bed, like every man, and silent in conversation. Have you noticed that I'm the only woman who speaks at the meetings?
You're the only woman I listen to.
Because Breton doesn't want us to speak. He's a misogynist. Why can't a woman be an artist as well?
Coco Chanel?
Is she acceptable because she's in fashion or because she's a lesbian?
Ananis Nin, the erotic writer.
You don't see them at the Surrealist gatherings. Frida Kahlo.
Diego's wife?
Why do you reduce her to being someone's wife? She's an artist in her own right. That must be how they think of me, merely Dali's wife.
Many envy your position.
They have no idea I struggle.
Are you unhappy, mon chéri?
What is happiness? Winning Breton's approval? Replacing your father's disdain? You do not need approval.
Neither do you, Garushka.
Let's buy that fishing hat in Port Lignan you always liked from that gypsy you're fond of.
Lydia? She is no gypsy, she's a witch.
Don't talk that way about women. They'll think that you're a misogynist like Breton.
That's not a value judgment. She's a real witch. She practices black magic. Don't ever cross her or she'll turn you into a grasshopper. She turned me into a grasshopper once. That's why I hate grasshoppers.
You know that didn't happen. But we still need money to buy that hat, and Womans is not selling any of your paintings at his gallery. They're even thinking of closing it.
Well, what will we do without Gomans? Keep borrowing money from your husband, Paul?
He wants to see me. You know, he writes me love letters. Paul says he misses me, my skin, my sex.
Read me his letters, why don't you?
So you can self-gratify.
You know how much it excites me for other men to desire you.
Is that why Breton opposes me when I give my opinion?
He's thinking how foolish this Spanish clown satisfies this sensual Eastern beauty he'd like to have in his bed. I'm sure of it.
You think every man wants to get me into their bed?
They do. I only speak the truth.
I'm only in your bed, Dali.
And your adventures, mon petit?
Never in our bed.
Where then, my love?
Only in secret hiding places no one knows about that I choose so you will never see me.
You deny me my pleasure. Please tell me about your escapades.
I have nothing to hide from you.
Tell me about your young man on the beach.
Which one of my young men?
The one with the big erect member standing at attention where you could hang the Spanish flag from his mast. I saw him.
Salvador, were you spying on me?
You know how patriotic I am.
You should write to the Generalissimo then.
Franco is a paranoid schizophrenic who believes everyone is subversive.
Can you imagine if you were ruling Spain right now? Can you blame him?
I would have a firing squads for the donkeys and not the intellectuals.
But intellectuals disseminate propaganda. They infiltrate the people. Who can say who's against you?
I had a dream that Lenin was kneeling with his pants down, crying and ready to be sodomized.
That is wonderful. You must paint that. I'm sure Breton will have a sermonage when he sees it. But I can sell it to Gomez.
I will, and I will bring it to the next meeting.
He's already warned you that you're getting too commercial. He says he'll throw you out of the movement.
I am the movement. No one has done more for surrealism than I.
And write to the Generalissimo just in case. We may need him sooner than you think.
What shall I say to him in my letter? You imprisoned my best friend and I forgive you?
Tell him you are Spain's greatest living artist and you admire him. His virility, his power has brought order to your homeland.
He befriends the Germans or the Italians.
Then we'll escape to the United States. I will not suffer through.
Blackout. Scene 6. The Surrealist Manifesto. Rule number 6. Let us resolve, therefore, the marvelous is always beautiful. Everything marvelous is beautiful. Nothing but the marvelous is beautiful. André Breton. He paints. She appears at the door with a letter in hand.
Have you finished?
Yes, I am finished.
Good, good.
I tell you I'm finished and you tell me that is good. How can you say these things to me and call yourself my muse?
The worst has happened.
Eluard is coming here and moving in with us.
No, that has nothing to do with Eluard. It's Breton.
Breton is moving in with us.
The opposite.
We are moving in with Breton?
Breton has written you a letter. What does it say?
He says because I am now the most famous and sought-after painter of my generation, he considers I can no longer be a surrealist.
He's just jealous. He wishes he was the most sought after anything.
He says I'm too commercial and therefore not an artist anymore, that I'm only interested in dollars.
We have not taken a vow of poverty to join the Surrealists. That is the beauty of Dali.
Tell him to take it up the ass, because he is an ass and a donkey.
Great Surrealist painter alive, be kicked out of the movement. I will talk to him. He's afraid of me.
Don't bother. I will denounce them to everyone. The Surrealists are dead. The only I am the only true Surrealist.
You're the greatest painter in all the world, mon amour.
To be or not Dali, that is the question. I only know I have to paint, and you have to sell them so we can pay the rent.
We have enough money to last a lifetime.
He paints desperately, throwing paint on canvases, dropping tubes on the floor, and throwing brushes everywhere.
Let me get back to work, because you will be mad if I'm not. I know you Russians are very emotional. It's all the vodka in it.
Would you like a drink?
Does a camel have humps?
Yes, two. I'll make it double.
2 humps and 2 lumps. Thrown out of the academy in my youth. And now the Surrealists banish me. Give me again, my dear.
He swallows it immediately. She slaps him on the face.
Not literally. Give me another vodka.
Oh, pardon. I thought you wanted to play rough again.
Not now, my dear. Although I rather like it when you hit me. It proves you still care about me.
He kisses her. She hands him another drink. He swallows it.
I really don't deserve you.
No, you don't.
I don't complain. I bring it on myself. I just need to paint more now to keep you happy. I need to finish a few more of these canvases. If I don't finish them, you will take my paintings away and they'll disappear unfinished.
The art is no longer yours when it goes out into the world. Think of it as a blessing.
It is a curse. They are my creatures, my creations.
A blessing and a curse. You must not think. You have no choice only to paint more. For me. Do it for me, Salvador. I'm your salvation. Paint. Paint, make me marvelous in your art. Make me beautiful and I will live forever. And your art will live for all eternity.
She drinks vodka, laughing at him. He paints frantically.
Behold the great Salvador Dali, my beautiful creature, my marvelous creation.
End of play.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Everybody can kind of start coming back, sharing their screens again. You can do the little hand clap emoji thing that shows up in the top corner. Now we can have some feedback and thoughts. Once again, the thing that John wanted to focus on was the conclusion and whether there was a good progression up to it. Does anyone want to begin?
I'd like to begin because it's a little bit frustrating working with the Zoom medium. We started rehearsing live for Fringe, and then we had to move into Zoom. So that has its own challenges. But the other thing I wanted to mention is the reason that I wrote the story is I'm friends with Luis Buñuel's son, Rafael. And as I originally had written the play about his father and Federico Garcia Lorca and Luis Buñuel when they were young students at the university, like many of you are, before any of them were well known. That interested me, and he gave me some insights that the real story, he believed, was in the relationship between Dali and Gala. And what I've tried to portray is that normally when you look at Dali, you think that he's very strong. He's a very strong character, because that's the character that he built for himself. He was actually very shy. And in any of the film reels that you might see about him and Gala, Gala appears to be very demure, and she hardly speaks. She's just there by his side, sort of as an appendage. And the real story was quite opposite. I was interested in writing a strong female character who actually dominates the submissive Dali. And that's a story that I don't believe has been told before.
Awesome. Thank you for that background. Does anyone want to start us off with any discussion? Not all of you at once. Well, I think I can start then. I think that your discussion of the progression from, well, the progression as a whole was very well done. I like that it starts kind of at a very high point, and it's really progresses from there, and then is able to kind of move to less of a conclusion, but more of a just sense of balance. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed where it ended. I enjoyed that it ended in a new beginning almost. But yeah.
Thank you.
I can say that that's true, John. You and I had this. I talked about this last night. I've been to the Dali Museum several times. I go once a year, basically, and never, ever have I imagined Gala to be as strong and as influential as I see her here now. So I'm always surprised, and when I go back, I'm going to be looking for clues of that in those paintings, of Dali's paintings, to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
One other thing that's really evident in the paintings for me, if you compare the artwork to the photographs of Gala, is he really saw her much more beautiful physically, and he represented her in that light.
Yeah, I'd like to say something too, working on this with John and also in doing the research and stuff. And as I get deeper and deeper into Dali and his life and how he did things and who she was to him, and there are several things on YouTube that to talk about how influential she was, and that he would basically not have been famous probably had it not been for her. But not to get too far off the subject here, it's about John's writing here, because every time I come back to the script and I find something new, I find another layer. Like when we did this yesterday, from what I did today was night and day from what I found today. And I assume that's going to be the next time and the next time until we have our full-fledged situation and storylines here, because that's what's happened all along. So just to pat John on the back and to, let you guys know, because I've been doing this as an actor professionally since I was 10. So that's a good, over 2 decades here. And you rarely find writers like that, whether it's theater, certainly not in film very often, where every time you dig into it, there's a new layer, there's something new to pick up, there's a new stone that you pick up, that you found something, So it's really nice to get to work on something and a writer who does such a good job with that. So thank you, John. And
thank you, Dave.
Of course, Anita too. She's beautiful and wonderful to work with.
Thank you so much. You're amazing. I want to talk a little bit about Gala, because it's such a challenging role, because there is nothing about her, she's always sitting next to him silent. There's no footage of her talking or any interview. She seemed like this passive woman sitting next to him that he would paint her. And then after reading the play, when I realized that she was so bossy and domineering and all that, I was so surprised. And then I was doing research, even like I'm reading some letters that Paul Eluard wrote to her, but there's never like a response. Nobody found her own letters or anything. And I think she's a very tough woman, and they're normally a lot of Russian women, I don't want to generalize, but they're very tough and they closed off emotionally. And she just always, she was this tough woman that you cannot really emotionally understand her, because she abandoned her child. We never, we don't know anything about her child after that. And then she abandoned the other poet. And yeah, someone can see her as cruel, but then she really helped like a genius artist to become so hugely successful. Yeah.
And I see her arc, like, she starts out as his lover, his muse, his tormentor, his protector, especially against, as part of the Surrealist movement, and his manager at the end of the day. So she fulfills all those roles. John, give me the title again, please.
Love the Sorcerer.
Love the Sorcerer? Would it be sorcerer or sorceress in this case?
Well,
the other thing I was thinking is put my marketing hat on, this would be really cool to watch at the Dali Museum in St. Pete, and maybe as a fundraiser for them. Once you get it through the Fringe Festival there, this could be really cool, done in situ among all those paintings. And that would be a sort of a good reason, a good way for them to raise funds and get exposure. And these are people that actually, between the docents and the people that work there and the people that are members, would really appreciate. I mean, not that we don't appreciate it, but on another level, because that's just a thought.
That's a great idea. I'm available. Set it
up. The reason I called it Love the Sorcerer is because the music that you heard is called Love the Sorcerer, El Amor Brujo, which is it's a Spanish, almost like an operetta by Manuel de Falla that Gala mentions during the play. He was a contemporary composer of Dali's and a friend of Garcia Lorca's, so someone that they knew, that they collaborated with as a surrealist.
I also want to point out the use of humor. I was shocked at the little that there were like a bunch of little jokes, because I had read it before when you had proposed this to me, and I had missed them. And there were little very clever lines and little humorous moments that I think were very very smart and very easily missed. And it really brought out your point, Dave, about how there's so much that you can pull from this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you. That's what happens when you work with great actors. They can bring those things to light.
It is. Okay, does anybody have any final thoughts before we move into Catherine's piece?
Can I ask a question, just out of curiosity, for anybody who would want to answer? Was there anything that you wanted to see in this relationship that you didn't? Something that you're like, oh, I wish I would have seen that, or wish they would have gone further with that, or just curious.
Excellent question. Catherine, you look like you're ready to speak.
Well, only because of yesterday, and I think Anita brought this up yesterday, it's much different when you see it on the stage. So all of that tension and backing and forth, this time I was imagining it in my head. So, in my head I was like imagining maybe a slap or, just a little bit more, the physicality that we're missing because it's Zoom. And I think that adds so much more. And there's that electricity and chemistry that you see normally on stage where you're just the hairs stand up on your arm. So
And no nudity.
that's right. Hang that Spanish flag, baby.
Well, my intention at the end with that slide presentation that I did is a poor realization of what I envisioned for the theater. I envisioned more like a cyclorama where these images would pass dizzyingly behind. I would have many more of them, obviously. But I limited the selection of the paintings to the paintings from that period of their relationship. So I purposely did not include any of Dali's later work beyond the point where he becomes famous and gets on the cover of Time magazine in 1936. So
I thought those are very...
What we see here is about a 7-year period from 29 to 36.
And I think that was a very ingenious way to adapt to Zoom and adapt to that aspect that we're missing, that visual aspect. Like we had been talking when we had met a couple weeks ago about how Zoom is becoming its own almost form of art, and how theater for Zoom is its own thing. And you did a wonderful job of allowing for the music and allowing for the slideshow and stuff. And I thought that was very, very eye-opening for me for when because I'm trying to write stuff for Zoom as well and trying to adapt things. And I appreciate that you kind of spearheaded that a little bit.
All right, great, thank you.
And I have a question if anyone wants to answer. I was wondering, because we didn't know what to do with the accent, because obviously she was Russian, and we were debating on if I should keep my own accent or give her a more Russian accent. And there are so many different Russian accents, but normally Russians have a very thick accent, and it always prevails. Even though she lived in Paris, in France, and in Spain, she was still Russian. So yesterday, for example, we had a comment from a gentleman that he couldn't understand me at all. And I can relate to that, because when I was working on the accent and I was trying to understand what the Russian person was saying, I had a hard time to understand. So I wanted to ask if anyone couldn't understand, or what they think about the accent, if it's, because it's hard in the ear if you're not used to it.
I can understand you well. Any inabilities to hear were due to like the occasional Zoom glitch, but the voice worked for me. Does anyone else want to touch on that?
Yeah, I thought right at the beginning in the first scene, when I first heard the bit of dialogue, it took me a minute to kind of orient to the sounds. And so I think potentially the first few lines, just obviously it has to be based on things more than just tempo for being understood, but maybe if they go a little slower, just sort of to give people the opportunity to orient to it. But once we cued into it, I think it was totally, it totally made sense.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, I think yesterday I was doing it a little bit faster, so I slowed it down.
You can tell.
Even maybe at the beginning, as you said, even more until
that's
people
a great
get used to it.
idea. That's a great idea to get us to get people acclimated. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
I noticed the difference between yesterday and today.
Yeah, I think it worked better for all of us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. I'm going to transition us over to Catherine's piece. Thank you, guys. One more round of applause for John and Anita and Davino, and Mariana seems to have left, but to Mariana as well. So our next piece will be In the Money by Catherine LaRose and Melva McLean. Are we waiting